The best of the best teams that you can use for Halloween Cup in Go Battle League. Hello trainers, Ganeto here, and now let's start off with a Kofa team up in the lead, followed up by Mantipass and Tentacle. This team is considered to be an A-tier team because it provides a lot of pressure to the opponent and at the same time it can go pretty safe against anything. Kofa is a generalist with pure nukes to pressure down even more the opponent in combination with Shadow Claw, and it is afraid of the dark types. Do not worry though, because the backline can somehow handle those Pokemon. Mantipass is a tanky, spammy one if you play it with Snarl, or just go with more pressure considering the fact that you have Froslass up in front as your fast attack. It has a ton of coverage against the entire meta because of the fact that it takes almost no damage even from super effective damage, but it struggles a little bit against fairy, especially those charms. You can still go pretty hard on Azu, but you're gonna lose no matter what. Tentacle is the safe switch of this team. It is a debuffer with acid spray and can pressure down as well the opponent with poison jab. I really like this Pokemon because it also has access to Hydro Pump. It is fairly tanky, but sometimes it feels kinda soft because in certain situations, especially something like a Wormadam against you, you can do almost anything, reach into Hydro Pump and then bail out to whatever is your only chance. The core breaker for this team, Umbreon, because it can go pretty well against Kofa and still go pretty hard on the backline, no matter the fact that it is kinda neutral against it. So this team pretty good, pretty safe, and I really recommend it to you to use. Time for a spammy one with Qwilfish up in the lead, Ninetales at the back and Jellicent as the safe switch. Qwilfish is a generally spammy leader because of the fact that Aqua Tail charges up really fast with your Poison Sting. You also have access to a Nuke, Sludge Wave or Blizzard, just go with whatever, you are gonna have a great time overall. This Pokemon however is too glassy, so perhaps some shields are gonna be needed. The backline is a little bit tankier with Ninetales as a tank. It is spammy as well with Powder Snow. I do not recommend Charm for this cap because a lot of poison types exist and you're gonna need Powder Snow for those Nidoqueens and Golbats that are gonna be almost everywhere, and this Pokemon loses trade square to poisons and fires. But as I said, if you have a Powder Snow, a poison type can still be managed with ease. Jellicent will be the safe switch of this team, and you're gonna have the Bubble Beam, which is gonna be the debuffing move that you need for this Pokemon to become even spammier with Hex. It has access to nuke moves like Ice Beam and Shadow Ball. Just keep Shadow Ball, and if you're wondering, shall I use Ice Beam? You can use it over Bubble Beam overall, but I prefer Bubble Beam because as a safe switch, you have more options towards your opponent. Even if they pull out a Dark type, which Jellicent is weak against it, you can still debuff it with your Bubble Beams and then have your Ninetales or Qwilfish farm a lot of energy before finishing it off. The core breakers for this team, just one, the Alola Mac, and you can see that you can still go pretty hard against this Pokemon with this line of 3. I'm just really wondering if there is any other Pokemon out there because I couldn't find. If you can write down in the comment section, this will mean a lot for any other trainer that is considering using this team of 3. This next one is a little bit of a poison based team. You have Alolan Mac up in the lead, which is great as a generalist. It is another version of Skuntank, if you like to say that, because it is part poison, part dark. But this one has access to Snarl, and I really prefer it over Poison Jab because it can spam a little bit faster your moves. So it is considered safe pick. It has a lot of coverage against the meta because of the fact that it can hurt even the dark types and of course wall down all those ghost types. And it is considered kinda soft because sometimes with Snarl you might not be enough to finish off the opponent right on time. Froslass is gonna be the closer that this team needs, and you're gonna see that with pure DPS, with Shadow Ball, Powder Snow and those avalanches, you are gonna be in a very good way to pressure down the opponent. However, it needs energy, and if you can manage the energy correctly, this Pokemon almost has no weakness. Use it to farm down the opponent, then finish off whatever they have at the back. Avalanche hits hard, Shadow Ball as well, so I would not be that much concerned of the core breakers for this team that are gonna be the Crustle and the Mawile. We're gonna get there in a while because Golbat first is gonna be the one that we're gonna discuss about. This Pokemon is gonna be the safe switch of this team. It is gonna be the buffer and provide a lot of damage to your team. it has access to a Nook move, the Shadow Ball, which does a lot, especially if you have a Shadow Golbat. And this Pokemon is also kinda soft because sometimes, I mean it, sometimes you might not get the debuffs right and you are gonna get farmed down if you have a Shadow Golbat on your team. But this Pokemon, really good. So the Core Breakers, Mawile and Crustle, those two really struggle this line of 3, but I would not be that worried because you can still hurt them with your moves, Avalanche, Shadow Ball or even Dark Balls for those Pokemon, and you're gonna be in a very good position overall. I know what you're wondering, trainers. Is there an Azu team? Okay, perhaps you're not wondering about that, but there is an Azu team. So Sableye, Azu, Nidoqueen will be our next team showcase. This team is pretty safe, this team is pretty meta, and perhaps AAA to use. Sableye is a generalist leader. It is considered a safe pick because of its part ghost, part dark typing, and it has a wide coverage against the meta, especially with return. It is afraid of the fairy types, and those charmers are just gonna straight apart. So if you see a charmer, just go to your safe switch, which is gonna be the Nidoqueen. Nidoqueen will be used as a debuffer for your opponent with pressuring down those shields, especially with back-to-back poison fangs, or just go with the Nuke, the earth power, for some unsuspected shield types out there. You can pressure down all the way, but this Pokemon is kinda soft sometimes, especially with a Shadow version. You might do a lot of damage, but consider the fact that you also take back some more. And yeah, that's all for the Nidoqueen. So now let's see the Azu. Azu is gonna be the closer. I prefer it as a closer for this team because it is bulky, it is a pure tank, it is considered to be a safe pick, and it is a top pick as well for a reason. This Pokemon provides a lot of coverage with its moveset, especially in Halloween Cup, but it is afraid of the poison types. If you have this as a closer though, perhaps you can still nuke them down with a simple Hydro Pump, and that's really huge for Azumarill. The core breaker for this team is gonna be the Fortress, because this Pokemon is part steel for those poison jabs to be resisted, and at the same time can go pretty well against Sableye and Azu, finish them off before you might even react. So yeah, a pretty good core breaker is gonna be the Fortress for this line of 3. However, trainers, who uses Fortress? Despite the fact that Speediest Chief is gonna use it for sure, who else is gonna use it? So I would not be that much concerned of that Pokemon. This line of 3 is super good. I really recommend to you, trainers, if you're looking for some solid wins for your record. Battlers, this next team will blow your mind. It has Shadow Mawile, it has Wormadam, and of course Skartank up in the lead. Skartank is a generalist leader which has a lot of DPS to provide for your team composition. It is considered a safe pick because it has only one weakness, the grounds, but for this cup, the weakness that it is gonna be the bug types, because most of those bug types are gonna be part poison and some other are gonna be part steel, so they are gonna be a little bit troublesome for your poison offensive moves. Mawile will be kinda the closer of this team composition, since it will apply a lot of pressure with your fire fangs, and you're gonna power them up with your power up fang. Yeah, okay, next span everyone. And this Pokemon is a pure generalist as of its own. It is kinda soft because sometimes you need to spend more shields than 2. Yeah, and I know that this can be a little bit overwhelming, but it provides a lot of resistances for your team overall. Wormadam will be also on the team as a tanky safe switch option, which hits hard with its moves. It's pretty straightforward, and it is losing to fire types. The core breakers for this team are gonna be Golurk, because it is a ground type and goes pretty well against anything for this team, but you can still pressure it down with your moves, and of course Salazzle, because it can also finish off Skartank with ease, since it is part poison and part fire for your back line. That's all, trainers. Thank you for watching, thank you for staying till the end. I hope you had a nice time watching the video, and if you did, be sure to leave a like before you go. Subscribe to the channel if you already haven't, because it helps our little community over here expand and go boom even more. So thank you for watching, trainers, and I hope to see you all into the next one. Take care, everyone.